Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Starkey here with Kingdom on Wall Street. Thank you so much for watching. Listen, I just wanted to come and to just touch base with you guys. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I'm going to be posting a lot more. And the reason why is because, I, I have been released to do more. Um, Released from God to do more and to do more videos and things like that, and that's actually what I want to be talking about in this particular video. So I really want to talk about how you know that it's time for you to do something different, or it's time for you to move forward in what God has called you to do, especially as it relates to losing a job. In most cases, when you lose a job, it's usually time for you to do something different, right? Like, regardless of whether, you know, it's your fault or not, or regardless whether you're going to another job or not, usually it just means that it's time for you to do something different. But in this particular case, I want to talk about when that difference is for you to do what God has called you to do specifically. And so I'm going to give you 5 reasons as to how you will know when losing a job is a result of God calling you to a different place, or could be a result of God calling you to a different place. So the very first thing that I just want to mention here is that when you lose your job and you're clear on your assignment, all right. When you are 100% clear on your assignment and you're working for someone else and you're clear as to what you have to do, you're trying to make time to do what you have to do your assignment. You're trying to make more time to do it. You're trying to get creative and do what you've been called to do while maintaining a job. That is usually, once you release, that's usually a sign that God has called you to go into that thing full time. It's usually a sign that it's time for you to switch things up and for you to really pursue what God has called you to do. So that very thing that you've been trying to do while still also maintaining a full-time job, like, that thing is what is if it usually means that it's time for you to move forward into that particular thing. All right. The number 2 is, and I'm going to be looking at my screen because I made notes on a different screen, by the way. But when you have already prayed to be released to do something, me personally, and all of this is coming from my personal testimony. Me personally, I have always been wanting to go into what God has called me to do on a full-time basis. And I spent a lot of time in prayer just asking God to allow me to do what He's called me to do full-time. So therefore I can have nothing else, no other distractions, but to just focus on what He's called me to do. And He has blessed me to be able to do that. With me losing my recent job, right whenever I was like transitioning into this office where I am now, I just in the process of me transitioning, actually the day before I signed for this office, I signed the lease for this office, I lost my full-time job. So I knew at that particular time that it was time for something different. Now, was I prepared for it? No, I was not prepared. I was prepared spiritually, but financially, I was not prepared. But I knew that I couldn't go back. I knew that I couldn't do anything different than what God has already called me to do. So in a lot of cases, that happens. That happens a lot. Like, when God is shifting you to do something else, and you are not prepared to go into or you feel like you're not prepared to go into the next thing. I personally think that happened to me because, if I was financially prepared, then I probably wouldn't be doing this video right here on this day. I feel like I would be, a lot more lackadaisical about my approach and what God has called me to do, because I know that, I might have X amount of months or X amount of years in savings so that I can, spend a little bit more time relaxing and doing some of the things that I want to do. But so those types of things happen, and that definitely happened to me in this particular scenario. So number two, when you've already prayed to be released from that job and into your assignment. I'm sorry, that's number two. Sorry. Number three is when it is not your fault. When you lose a job as a result of it not even being your fault, that's another way that you would know that, hey, like, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I'm being let go. It's time for me to do something else. It's time for me to step into what God has called me to do. All right. And then that takes me into number four. A lot of times it is our fault, right? Even when it is our fault, and we lose our job, a lot of times it's still God calling us into that next thing, especially when it's your fault, but it's something that you didn't mean to do, and you were operating in a good spirit, but you still ended up losing your job, and it's your fault. Like that's another key sign that it's time for you to tap into what God has called you to do. And then the number five, which is the final thing, would be when losing your job feels like a relief. Like when you are, just in this rut and you're in this ongoing cycle of, just working and working and working, and then you have a day off and, you don't want to do anything on your day off because if you do, you're going to feel like you don't have a day off, so you spend it doing nothing just so you can, say you've had a day off and then you're right back to work the next day or you're right back to work, 2 days later. When you're in that cycle, and you lose a job and it feels like a relief for you, that's another sign that God could be calling you to do what He's called you to do full time. But that relief can come in several different ways, by the way. It doesn't have to be, you like being a work engine. It could just literally be the culture of the company you're working for. Once you are released from that thing, you're released into what God has called you to do. So anyway, those are the 5 things that I just want to share today. It's just a quick video that I just want to put out. And if you have not subscribed already, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of the links in my description. I have a few projects that I'm working on. I think the one for this video is manupfinancial.net. We are commercial loan brokers, so we help you get business financing. And this particular offer that we're doing right now is specifically for cash out refinance. So it's for real estate. It's real estate funding. So if you have any questions at all, definitely reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Starkey, and you guys have a great day.